all the tech.
We're live.
We're live though.
Yay! Hi
Happy
everyone,
Friday.
we are here. Yay! Happy Friday. Am I still choppy?
No, you're good.
It's
Oh,
better.
We're
good.
good.
Yay! Well, the good thing is I'm here with my bestie, so if my tech goes kaput, then I'm
We got
100%
you.
in good hands that this is going to keep on going. Awesome! Welcome everyone. We are here to talk about what happened after the tea has been spilled. We spilled the tea. You guys joined us. Most of you joined us for our actual event, our virtual event, spilling the tea on NFTs. That was super fun. Last time we were here, we were inviting you and telling you about it, and then we talked a little bit about the fund and what that was, and so it's really cool. So today we're going to talk a little bit more about spilling the tea, the event. We're going to talk about just the space, right? So much happening in the space, Web3, NFTs, and crypto. We'll talk about the fund, right? What makes us unique and amazing together, and that's it. Cool. So we're going to start off first of all. So everyone, welcome again to the Luxury and Legacy Spotlight, and I'm going to introduce you to my besties. Yeah. Most of you know me already. I'm Michelle Morton. I come here once a month and talk to you about all things building a legacy, generational wealth, real estate, entrepreneurship. And now we are always talking all the things Web3 and NFTs all day, every day. It's been a little, not so much this past week though. We were kind of like, whoo, after everything with the fun, we were like, oh my gosh, we have other responsibilities, obligations. Let's do both. Awesome. All right, Pam, tell the people who you are. And of course, Pam, you guys have seen all the besties. Pam's been here a few times. So we're going to ask different questions, right? We're not going to ask, what is a legacy? Because they've heard it from us all before. Let's talk about Web3, right? So let's talk about what is your favorite piece in your Web3 collection?
My favorite. Ooh,
Can you introduce?
that one's
Yeah.
tough. Hi everyone. I am Pam Covarrubias. I became the business coach my mom needed, and my favorite piece. I think I have favorite kind of like favorite things for different things. So I love the art of the clinic. It's like the art piece of it is awesome. I love the utility of pixies. I love the art of the new birds of solace that I just got. So those I'm gonna print and put in my office. Yeah, so I love different things about each one because I minted them because I care. I'm attracted to something. But I think the ones that stood up the most are like the clinic art is just beautiful, and then Pixie's utility, like the what is behind owning a Pixie is super cool.
Yay! I could ask more questions, but I won't. Next time we'll come around. Okay, Mariana, please introduce yourself to the people and what's your favorite NFT or Web3 project?
Hi, everyone. I am Mariana. I am the founder of The Fringe, and we are an online resource and community for women and LGBTQIA entrepreneurs. And happy Pride, everyone. I have my rainbow pin, although I wear it. Okay, that's a really tough question. I was going over all of them in my mind. My very first NFT I ever minted was from Women Rise, so I feel like that one's always going to be close to my heart. Melancholy Monsters Club. I just minted 2 of those for Pride Month. They are a queer-led NFT project. I don't think you 3 know this, but this week I've been waiting. I finally minted one from Sad Girls Bar.
Oh,
really I feel like, I don't know, it somehow resonates with my heart. The clinic,
You've talked about it for a while.
Yeah. The clinic has beautiful, I love that art. Pam, your birds, very jealous of your birds. They're so pretty. And do all the birds wear shoes?
Not all of them.
Okay.
Yes, just some of them. And that's the conversation. Like in their Discord, some people are like, oh my gosh, you got the heels. Can we trade?
Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, I think those are some of my favorite projects right now.
Yay, great project. Yeah, I think we're all eyeing Pam's birds. Yeah, and I love the LGBTQIA plus projects. Happy Pride. Um, not NYB, not your bros. So did you see the new announcement that they made with the new collection that they have? They're doing kind of like it's called
Yeah,
Mantra
the like
Demons.
pickling. They keep alluding to like the pickling, and I'm like, what are they doing?
Yes. So they're going to come out with a pickle juice that's kind of like what the Bored Apes did their mutant juice, their serum, and it will morph you. You can choose which of your pieces will morph into like a second generation.
That's so
Mm.
cool.
So they're doing that in
They're
Ethereum. It's
building
kind of
up.
like Solana projects, and they're doing it in ETH.
Mm-hmm.
That's really
Yeah.
cool.
All right, Louisa, your turn. So tell the people who you are, what you do IRL in real life, and then what's your favorite piece in your collection?
Yeah, so hi everybody. I in real life am the CEO of People First Finance. We are a financial services company specifically for women entrepreneurs. And so there's a lot of crossover in my work in Web 2 into Web 3. Money is my game. I like helping people make it, keep it, build it, grow it. So Web 3 is dear to my heart for that reason, and many other reasons. My favorite project, I think, is still and will always be Meta Angels, because I was it was my first. And it was the first project that I minted, and I just love the art so, so much. And I think what's interesting about that piece of art is that, like, it sort of to me represents how we can be whatever we want in Web3. So, like, using that piece of art as sort of my avatar is like another part of me that I'm able to sort of show that's a little softer, a little more feminine. And that's not how I am really in real life. Like, I don't like to dress up and stuff. I like to be comfy. But there's a part of me that's very feminine. And I'm able to, I think, through the Meta Angels profile pic that I have and just through that project, sort of explore that a little bit more. The artwork is beautiful and the community is incredible, what they stand for, their lending program, just how sort of cutting edge they are, and a lot of how to leverage this space for good has just always been really inspiring for me.
Yay! Love Meta Angels. I mean, you definitely inspired me to get it. That's one of my favorite acquisitions, since this downturn in the market. Love
Awesome.
my Meta Angels. Oh, everything about it. Every
Yes.
time I'm in there, the projects that they're affiliated with, the vibe in their community, how service and service forward they are. I mean, I love Meta Angels.
Well, and Michelle, I'm so curious because I love how we've all sort of gone off and minted in this down market, like projects that we've had an eye on for a long time, like Sad Girls and Pixies. I know Pixies was a little early, but like you got that right after the drop, I feel like, Pam. And then you, Michelle, just got, you minted a Royal finally,
I bought
right?
it. I bought it on secondary.
Oh, you bought it on secondary.
Yeah. I did not gamble with the mint because as you know, I've been very particular waiting for the right time on this one, right? And so I'll tell everyone why. So the Royals is an amazing project. This collection is the Royals Ghana. So of course it is Afro first, right? African first. And the artist is amazing. So it's the Power of Women artist. So the art's amazing. It's Afrocentric. I'm like, I want one. The problem for me initially was the utility is a gala in Ghana at the end of the year, right? I have 3 munchkins, 6 and under. I'm not going to Ghana in December. I'm just not. So I had to really say, all right, what is this piece? What would I be willing to pay for this piece as opposed to another piece? And right now the price is right. I looked at the floor, found the one which is these beautiful continent earrings, and I'm boosted. I'm so excited.
Yay, that's so awesome. I love it. It's been so fun. And I know we're going to talk about the market, but like it has been kind of fun to like look at projects where before maybe there was just a bigger barrier to entry and all of a sudden be like, maybe this is possible now.
Yes. No, I think that's a great segue. We're very casual. So let's hop around. Let's go into bullish in a bear market. Ooh.
I like it.
So let's talk about it. So I think what's everyone's strategy right now or process or thought? I hate saying stuff like strategy because people think like, ooh, they're doing something fancy when really I think we're just having a good time, taking some risk, and some of them pay off, some of them don't. So like, what's
Yeah.
everyone's thought process or strategy behind like being in the Web3 space?
I think it's definitely an adventure into honoring your risk palette. So I think like things that come to mind to me, number one is your ability to have disposable income, like things that money that you won't hurt to lose. And not everyone has that privilege. And so like even if it's $20 right now with the way that the market is, with a little bit that you feel comfortable, if that goes away, you could invest into a tiny, and there's a lot of free mints right now, which careful on that, but like I don't want to be like, go do all the free mints. Like do your own research always. And it's a time to kind of like measure your risk palette, to kind of like get your coins and see, explore, because there's opportunity to dig into or like jump into some projects if you were looking at them like we have. And so I think it's assessing your risk tolerance. I work with somatic, so checking in your nervous system. How are you feeling with like doing things, and like riding the wave, because it's like I don't think it's going away. There's like a lot of talk and conversation about like, the blockchain is done, like Bitcoin's down, everything's down, like it's done. And I don't think so. I think it's the future of the internet. And so this is just a little valley that we're going through, and it's a wave. It's a wave.
Yeah, riding the wave. What were you gonna say, Luisa, Mariana? Bullish in a bear market.
Yeah, go
I
ahead,
was gonna-
Mariana. I feel like you've been doing a lot more shopping than I have. So I'm curious to hear what you've been up to.
When we hit the bear market, I did think, okay, I'm going to go wild and buy every project. Like everything is much more affordable. I'm going to buy into these projects. This is a good time to invest in them. But I think I've been more cautious than I expected. I feel like my journey into this, February was my very first month for maybe all four of us. But February was my very first month where I'm like, okay, I'm in this. There are so many exciting new projects. And I went maybe too wild, and I was minting or buying secondary into like all sorts of projects. So this time I thought, okay, things are more affordable, but also my Ethereum is down. Like it was, X amount, and now it's like way down here. So I don't have as much to spend also. But I do think this was or has been a good opportunity. So I did want to get into a few projects. I'll probably get into a few more, but I'm not like, for the last few months, I've spent as much Ethereum, or I've bought as much Ethereum as like I thought was, okay, this is how much I can spend. It won't hurt me. Like this is money that if it disappears, it's okay. And I don't want to buy any more right now, maybe like in a month or two. So now I'm just like, okay, maybe I'll spend half of it during the bear market, but then save the other half. And then once it goes back up, I can be a little bit more strategic again. But yeah, so I'm being half careful and cautious and half getting into the projects that I've been excited about and haven't been able to.
Yeah, same. What about you, Luisa?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been tough. I think one thing that just keeps like the voice in the back of my head keeps saying like engage in the projects you're already in. So I think there's also this challenge of like breadth versus depth, and there's utility happening, there's alpha coming, there's lots that's already sort of that I can benefit from the projects that I'm currently invested in. And so it's like that takes time, that takes effort. So if there are specific projects that I feel like could add another dimension to my portfolio, great. Or like Pam has just found a wealth of knowledge in how the Pixies run their project. And so we've all benefited from understanding a DAO better and understanding sort of the resources that they have for their community. So I love that about it too. But I also love that there are now not only 4 of us, but many of us besties in Discord, right, in this cool community, and we're all out as scouts sort of in our corners and areas of Web3, sort of seeing what's out there. And I just think it's really cool because the more projects you come across, the more you realize, sort of recognize which ones like really resonate with you or really pique your interest. And I think it makes it easier to not fall like under FOMO or feel like you have to do something that you're not entirely sure of. Like the really interesting ones that resonate with you kind of come up to the top. And now's the time, I think, to get into those kinds of projects. So bullish in the sense that, like, yes, if there's a good opportunity, I'm much more likely to just go for it because the price is likely in a place where it's more accessible. But I'm not doing so much like shopping around as I could, because I'm like, no, I really want to just like get in a little bit deeper with Meta Angels. Like, what are they doing? Or with NYB, Not Your Bro, like, what are they doing? Like, there's so much in each one of these. It's really hard to keep up with it all, you know?
Yeah, I feel the same. I feel like it's definitely right now. I agree with all of you, right? It's like definitely about quality over quantity, right? And so taking a deeper dive into the projects that we already love and that we're a part of. So I think we've kind of weeded out some that this isn't a good fit, and some we just are a part of because we want to support because it's women led or it's of a certain community. But then there are some that we really want to be like thought leaders and partners and part of that community. So I'm definitely going to use this as the opportunity to reconnect to some of the communities that things have been moving so fast and we were so focused on the fun that we didn't really have an opportunity to be a bigger part of the community. So excited about that. And then to buy into the projects that one were out of reach before, because that's a reality, right? If something costs one ETH a month ago was $4,000, you know, and so now that same project is probably could be worth $500. It only makes sense to buy, and I'm buying pieces. One that I love the art. I call them like museum worthy pieces, right? So there's something that can sit on my wall, or the utility in the community is so amazing. I want a Boss Beauty, want one, right? My favorite, yes, my favorite purchase recently definitely was my Meta Angels. Oh my gosh. And I'm excited to be in the Royals. But definitely Meta Angels hands down was it. And I'm coming for a pixie. I'm coming for it. I looked at
Me too.
Yay! Awesome. All right, so let's talk about spilling the tea on NFTs. Oh my gosh, we had this like virtual event. It was so fun, so awesome. What were you guys thinking and feeling? What were some of your takeaways from that event and that day? Anyone?
I was just so shocked by the response. Like, the response, like how many people were like, sign me up. I'm so curious. I love what you're doing. Like, I don't know what it is, but sign me up. Like, just that sort of like elevated response. And then, like, in even the first few days, how many people had achieved things that they would have otherwise never done or been intimidated by, and it was like people were setting up wallets, they were getting the beautiful po-up that Pam created, like buying crypto like in a matter of days because they had the safety net that we like just created because as an extension of what we've already, like, it was such an organic, really awesome feeling. Everything was my experience. It's so cool.
Yay! Yeah, to your point, it literally was us out here. I call it squirreling, right? Us out here building our own little collection and collections together, and we were just like, how about we share this with more people? It was like an idea, a couple of conversations, and here we are. And here we are. What about you, Mariana? Spilling the tea, kickoff of the fund.
I think sort of similar, seeing all the wins, seeing people set up their very first crypto wallet, buy crypto for the very first time, mint their first NFT. That was amazing. The event itself was so much fun. It's like, yeah, I think just our journey where, you know, most of us meeting each other for the first time, just sort of getting into this space, and then our evolution of, you know, starting to grow our own collections, investing together. And then the event was kind of like the peak where we're like, okay, we're doing this, we're creating something, we're bringing more people like into this journey. That was awesome. So the event, I loved the event. And then, yeah, then just welcoming people into our Discord, into the fund. And then meeting new besties. It's like, you know, some of these people I already knew, but a lot of these people I haven't met before. So just having so many more besties where now we can talk about Web3 or NFTs every day. Yeah, it's been awesome.
Yay! What about you, Pam? Spilling the tea, launch of the fund.
Yeah, I think for me it was really amazing to see that people trusted us because our behind the scene conversations that happen every day about projects and what do we think about them, and then when we decided to share it with the world, the fact that the response was like, yeah, we trust you with it. That was really like, what an honor, you know, to be able to walk people through a process that there's other projects that do it. It's just they do it in such large scale that when we did it and we were consciously doing it for like a smaller group of people, for people who've never done it before, I think that was it was really awesome to see that people were like, to Lisa's point, people were like, I don't know what you but take my money, show me how it's done, you know, whatever. And like, I think we've all, with the people that we know personally that joined the fund, we've all kind of like, okay, tell me what do I do? Kind of thing. And it's been super fun to walk people through and to like them seeing them see their first POAP and them seeing them see like, oh, this is what my wallet address is. It's like super cool. So it's really it's an honor. I feel so honored that people trusted us with this.
I love that. We have to go into Discord and tell people that because I feel the same way. I think we all do. Like, we really feel honored that you all trusted us to come on this journey with us. I mean, and for me, I think that how I feel about it was summarized with how I was popping off and I was so excited about Ben and Cynthia talking about us on that Spaces. So one of our members, two of our members, actually, two of our founding besties, they were on a Spaces with Hug, which is a project with Randy Zuckerberg that's all about inclusivity in Web3. So it was a great Spaces, and they mentioned the fun. They mentioned our giveaway of the Iconic with the clinic. They mentioned our mission, how the flow of the content is just right on pace. It's not overwhelming. And it just felt so good because all the things that we wanted to communicate, all of the things that we wanted people to value about the fund. It was like, wow, they hear us. They hear us. They see us. It's this is good. Like every time we check off something, I'm like, oh wow, this is good. People really want this, right? Or they want to come along the journey with us. So it's super, super, super exciting. All right. So who wants to take on the task of telling people, oh, what is the fund? You guys keep talking about it. What is the fun? What is the fun?
I can talk about
Anybody?
the fun.
Yes, Louisa. What is the fun? What is the fun, Louisa?
So the simplest explanation of the fund is, and I love this, is Pam really kind of solidified this concept for me, but it really is this idea of a co-created community, co-created space, where we come together with, we call each other besties because we're all interested in the Web3 space, want to support each other in exploring and learning more about the Web3 space. So the fund is education. That's a big component of the fund, is just giving people accessible, easy to digest, like Michelle was saying, information, right? So it's not like a course where you're having to go through and slug through lots of content. That's not really how Web3 works. It's still evolving. Different people have their different perspectives and ways of describing what things are. And so we just tried to pull together a lot of resources so that people can be informed and create their own version of an experience in Web3, which I think is really like, the more I think about the way, and this is really Michelle's brainchild, the way that you laid it out and the way that we're stepping through it feels so good and feels so on par with like the way that this space actually works, as opposed to like, you know, more clear cut sort of like, this is the way things are education in other subject areas. So that's a big part of it. We share resources, we share alpha. So a lot of the conversations that we have all had about little tidbits we hear about different projects and what they're doing, we share with our founding members. Our founding members are also ambassadors for Web3. So going back to their communities, and our communities that we are excited to welcome in are specifically, Black, Latina, Indigenous, women of the global majority, first generation, LGBTQIA+, like that's the community that we're hoping our ambassadors, who each are a part of one or all of those communities, are going back and bringing their family and friends into this place where there's safety. We talk about security, we support each other. It's sort of like I think of it as like a warm home, you know, where like the fire is always on and you know, like I think of it that way. And so we're really creating that space for our besties to come and learn. We also have a community wallet, and this is something that we're learning more about what that means, what the expectation is there. But I can say that a portion of all of the I'll say founding member dues, what founding members paid to be a part of the fund, portion of that is sitting and waiting for us as a community to decide what we do with that. You know, and we're educating ourselves around how to facilitate that conversation. Or set up as a DAO in that sense, a decentralized autonomous organization, so that everybody who's a founding member, can have decision-making power because they are a member. And so there are all these different pieces of it. And I think what's cool is that we learned about all these different pieces from our journey in Web3. And now we're taking those pieces and making them our own. And I think this is what I love so much about this space, is that you really can take these really awesome concepts and opportunities and craft your own story. And I think that's what we're doing. We're sort of helping people craft their own Web3 story. And I don't think that's terminology we've necessarily used before, but as like everything has come together and I've sort of spent more time processing and integrating all of what we've done in such a short period of time, that's sort of what it feels like, and it feels really good.
Yay! It feels amazing. Who else wants to talk about the fun? So for those watching, in summary, I think that what Louisa just said is that it is, well, I think Jamila said it best. Hold on, let me put that back up. She says, I think of the fun as like a warm home where the fire is always on. Louisa. Yeah, we need to put that on Twitter.
Quotable.
Yeah, I think that's our goal. And then you said something else about us helping others. So a big part of what we want to do is help you build your own roadmap, your own collection, carve out your own space in Web3, right? We're not the gurus and the talking heads telling you like, this is what you should do. This is your framework. It's really just kind of letting everyone figure it out, but we do it together. Were you saying something, Pam?
No, I think what I love about the fund and what we have created is it's an invitation for everyone to have a voice. And so I think it's what we're seeing inside of our server is people are now a bestie shared an event that I'm like, wait, this is in Canada? I know, like what? And so it's really cool that people are finding, like, they're going out into the world, they're finding things and they're coming back and they're like, what do you all think? Let's discuss. And that's super cool because I feel like it's an extension of 4 of us conversations. Now it's in a bigger scale, and I can't wait for a new cohort to come in and for them to learn from each other. And people are sharing their art, for example, and like it is a warm place where the fire's always on. It's super cool.
The fund is an invitation for everyone to have a voice. Pam C. Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Mariana? What is the fun in your own words?
Well, I think all 3 of you have said it beautifully. I think that's exactly how I feel too. And just adding to what Pam was just saying, yeah, I think just watching over the last, I mean, how long has it been? 2 weeks? I think 2 weeks. But yeah, watching all of the new founding besties, everyone that has joined the fund, it's like we really want this space to be just as much theirs as it is ours. And watching people, start conversations, start sharing their own journey into Web3, or Pam, like what you were saying, someone shared that event, an NFT event that's in Canada, or projects that they're discovering, or really amazing articles about Web3 and NFTs. So just, kind of watching the fund bloom and grow, and having all of the new people who have joined really kind of own it also and make it their home has been really awesome.
Yay! Yay! So to Mariana's point, we are in week 2 of the fun. So we have our second office hours today. We've had a welcome party. We've had 2 office hour sessions. We have 3 modules in La Biblioteca, which is our education platform. So we have some other things, as Lisa talked about, that are coming up that we're excited about: partnerships, building out this DAO together, figuring out what to do with this community wallet together. Initially, our big goal for the first group of founding members is we want to bring on 1,000 people, right? But it's amazing because our initial goal was 30 people. And when we had that first welcome party, I think we were at like 32, Louisa, 32, 33.
I think we're officially now at 33 or 34 founding members. Yeah.
So you guys can become founding members. So watching the fun grow and bloom has been really wonderful to watch, Mariana. Yay! Awesome. All right. So we have office hours today. What else is coming up? What else do we have coming up for the fun, like before the summer's over?
I don't know if before the summer's over. I'm hoping so, but we will have an NFT.
Yay! Oh, I
That's in the
can't
works.
wait.
That's in
NFTs
the
in the
works.
works. Awesome. And so what is the NFT? What is the NFT? What does that mean? Like, what founding members are going to get an NFT. What does that mean?
I don't do we wanna say what the NFT is gonna be? I don't know. Is this gonna be
No,
a like okay,
no,
good.
no.
So the founding members will have the opportunity to mint an NFT, and it will be what is it called? Generative? It will be
Yeah.
like it will be a different NFT that people will be generated from different traits that I have been drawing. And the NFT, like, while it's my hand and my my pencil doing the things, it's like everyone's here, the founding besties in the fund, feedback and things that we love and care about, and things that we know founding besties will love and care about. And I can't wait to say more about it when we're ready.
Yeah. So exciting. What else is coming up? What else? So Mariana, Luisa, what's your favorite thing that's coming up that you can tease a little bit?
This is more, well, pretty soon we're going to take the event that we hosted 2 weeks ago on tour. So that means other organizations, it could be nonprofits, businesses that have they just align with our values. We are going to take the event on tour and be able to present it to their audience too, just so that way more people can hear about Web3, they can learn about NFTs, the blockchain, the metaverse. So that will be really fun and exciting, and just being able to connect and talk with more people will be awesome. But that probably should start, I don't know, probably in July.
Yay! So if you have an organization or a business or a client base or anything where you want us to come out, we have one of our founding besties who said she's in the financial space. She wants to make space for us to come and talk to her community. So if you have a community of people that you just want to educate them a little bit about Web3 and the space, and especially support a diverse project that's all about creating equity and accessibility in Web3, then hit up Mariana. Louisa, what about you? You have a lot of responsibilities in the fund. What's your favorite thing that's coming up next?
Well, I think, it's like we all started this so organically, and I think we're all realizing that this has become bigger than us, but it still needs to be treated as the business that it is. And so there's a lot on the back end that needs to be sorted out there and set up there. But really just like educating ourselves, right? On like, how do we navigate this space? Again, the space is still so young. There's still a lot of risk. There's still a lot of just not a lot of regulation in the space. So keeping people safe and up to date there, protecting ourselves too, because the way that we've done this is like, we all decided, yeah, we want to build community first. Like we had been talking about an NFT project and really be, we were really interested in doing that. But we all decided like, actually we can build community first. And that feels like the first right step. And so I'm also really excited to see what our community wants, what they're excited about. We did a giveaway, an NFT giveaway, our first one, and we had a winner, and it was really exciting. And like making that transfer felt so good. I was like, I want to do this all the time. So, but like, is that what people want? Like, do we want to go in on these products? Like, what does that look like? And I think once we get to to a place where we're able to collect feedback from members, what I'm most excited about is like what we don't know yet that's to come with the fund, all of the possibilities and potential there. Like, this is just the beginning. And I'm very like aware of that. It's such a beautiful beginning. And so it's like, how is this going to grow? Like, what is the tree going to look like? We've got like the trunk, like what's the tree going to look like? I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I love that. Where are we going to go? Because it really is just the beginning, right? It's so organic. It's 30 people that love us, know us, like us, trust us, and everyone's like active and engaging, and it's super awesome. So I would say, what's my favorite part that's coming up? I think it's the part that's already there. I think it's really like continuing to build community, right? I think just the people and watching people be, sometimes I'm like in there just talking into it. It's so funny. I talk into Discord like it's an echo chamber, right? I just go in there and start. That's why I love Twitter. It has the same effect, right? So for years, when I tweeted, no one was listening, but I could just say whatever I wanted, right? And I feel like Discord now, like I'll drop in there, I'll drop some of my projects, but I think as time goes on, more people are going to be engaging. There are people now that are engaging. So I think just watching our community grow, watching people learn to more wins. We have celebrations already and people are in there. So I think definitely the community, definitely getting the DAO up and running where people feel like, oh my gosh, I have a voice, and watching them learn what a DAO is at the same time that we learn. So I'm just excited. I'm excited for it all. Awesome. All right, everyone, we're going to go because we have a couple other things to do for the fun today. But if there was, so let's leave everyone with our, tell them, of course, where to find you. And then if there was one nugget or one piece of advice or anything that you could say for them to navigate through this market that we're in right now, what would that be? And who wants to go first? Ugh. I'll go first. I'll start, right? So give everyone something to like. Okay, so I'm Michelle Morton. Yay, your host for the spotlight today, and also one of the founder besties for the fund. And what I would say about navigating through this market, and when I say market, I'm talking all the markets, right? Real estate, stocks and bonds, and of course this Web3 space, because you guys know I'm in real estate, right? So to everyone, it is be patient, of course, do your research, stay calm, and have a good time. So we just made it through a global pandemic, right? When for me, anytime something happens that's a little different or very different, I always ask my grandmother, right? My grandmother is in her 80s. I'm not going to age her, so I'm not putting it out there. She would kill me. But my grandmother, her thing was, I always go to her for her wisdom, her and my grandfather. And I said, well, Grandma, have you seen anything like this? This is when COVID first hit. And she says, no, in her lifetime, right? And she says, the only thing that was close was AIDS. She said, but after a while, they figured out what was causing it and you could protect yourself from it. Right. Whereas with COVID, it was very hard to figure out how to protect us. And so guess what? Something that was unprecedented that she had never seen in her lifetime as a species, we have survived it and we did all right. Right. Well, guess what? Recessions, depressions, they happen. Right. And they've happened in her lifetime and she's survived and we've all come out on the other side. So if we just keep that in mind, and in the meantime, be smart, have fun, don't play with money you don't have, listen to what's happening in the market. I think it's going to be awesome. They say after recessions and depressions, what happens afterwards is like huge growth. So I'm excited for that. All right, who's next?
I can go. Yeah, it's interesting. So I would say this is a really great time and reason to do a little bit more research and get into things that you think will stand this test, right? So looking at blue chips, like even just in stock investing and that sort of thing, it's like you're looking at the companies where if you understand their business model, you understand why there's demand, why they have value, now is the time to invest or consider investing in those types of companies, projects, whatever it be, because if they really truly can, or if like it seems really likely that they'll weather this, you could really potentially see an upside. And this really is the time that fortunes are made. Again, there's still a lot of risk involved in investing, especially in this space. But I do think this is definitely an opportune time to get your feet wet. And like I say, to just be really discerning. And if you have questions, and if you're like, how do I do that? What do you mean do my own research? Like, what do you consider joining the fund, consider investing in something like the fund where you're investing in yourself to educate yourself and give yourself the tools and resources you need to be able to navigate these opportunities, right? That's another thing, something else to consider. So I definitely think that's the time. I definitely think like after going through COVID and all of that, like I spent a lot of time learning and educating myself on the markets. And so I was dollar cost averaging. I think everybody here knows this, but I was dollar cost averaging into Ethereum because I had heard that Ethereum would have more utility. I knew there was something about it that made it seem a little bit more different than Bitcoin. So like also a diverse piece of my portfolio. But I was dollar cost averaging. And once the market came up and all of a sudden everybody was into NFTs, I had some capital that I didn't have to think too hard about, that I didn't have to scrounge to get. I had just been investing slowly into that cryptocurrency, and all of a sudden now have this opportunity to uncover this whole new space that turned into a whole new source of revenue and a whole new business in my life. So you never know where these opportunities are going to lead. I think that goes back to we have the trunk, where's the tree going to go? That's how my life has been. It's like, you never know what's going to come next. So yeah.
Yay!
I'll go next. Again, I'm Mariana and a founder bestie with the fund. So I was going to say something a little bit similar about researching, especially for newbies out there. You're just getting into Web3. Probably the first month that I got into it, I spent, if you ask my wife, it's like every night when we got into bed, I would spend hours just reading articles, watching YouTube videos, finding influencers on Twitter and just like reading everything that they had to say. I did so much research. Now can be an exciting time because things seem more affordable, but I still would recommend researching the project. This is something we're going to go over in the fund next week with our educational content, but research the founders. It's always a good thing if you like the art, check out what the utility is, check out their roadmap. I've definitely made the mistake of FOMOing in to projects. Sometimes it has worked out. Sometimes I spent way too much money than I should have, or the project, I didn't research them enough and I really shouldn't have invested in that project. Maybe they fizzled out or they didn't follow through with their roadmap and their plan for the project. What else? Security. So never click links that you don't trust. Just Web3, clicking links can lead to terrible things. So only click links you trust. We were talking about this in the fund this morning, but on OpenSea, your hidden folder, never touch those NFTs that are in there. They usually are very scammy unless you know where they came from. So yeah, just make sure that you spend time researching security and safety tips so you can always stay safe. I think that's it.
Yay! Yeah, as we build out La Biblioteca, which is our education platform in the fund, Mariana is very serious about safety and security. She's like, look, we have to make sure we keep our people safe. And it's important because, you know, you hear about people saying, oh, Web3 or crypto or NFTs, it's a scam. Well, it's not a scam, but there are scammers, right? There are people, and because it's not a regulated space, there are a lot of scammers. So it's super important that you stay safe. And then for us, like, we try to help give you any nuggets to help keep you safe and keep ourselves safe, right? Awesome. Pam, your turn.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I think for me, as someone who got scammed, definitely safety and security is so important. And I think what I will leave people with, if you're thinking about Web3 and or you're looking at projects that you're interested in, I gave myself a rule of like 1 to 3 days to think about it. So, especially right now that the market's like it's shopping time, to avoid overspending and getting into projects that just because there's all this FOMO and like, for example, I didn't mint NYB, not your bro, and like I'm like, "Ooh, should I?" But then I'm thinking about it. And so one of the lessons that I received early on in my Web3 journey was to go slow and steady and be patient, because I believe the reason why I got scammed is because I was moving fast and I was like, "Oh my gosh, am I going to miss out on the moment?" And so really now I have a rule of sleep on it. So if I find a project and I'm like, "Okay, do I want it? Do I not want it?" Of course, do the research and like to all the points that everyone's made. And I sleep on it because like yeah, one day could make a difference, and maybe that the difference will tell me that I don't need to get it. And that's what I do IRL. When I go to the store and I grab something, I walk around. I have to do a loop with the thing in my hand if it's not on the list, and then I decide, okay, do you really need it? And many times I put it back. And so it's kind of like the same premise of like, okay, 24 hours, sometimes 72, and then make a decision from a patient, slow and grounded place.
We have to bottle that up and sell it, right? I would buy all of it. I would buy all of it because I'm the worst. Hold on, let's see something to drink. Okay, so what I did was, so for mine, I put, again, I'm Michelle Morton, your hostess today. So I put only buy, in this market right now, only buy something that you're okay with if it goes to zero,
Mhm.
right? And so Stacey said, "Oh, OMG, Pam, how do you do that?" Right, we need to bottle Pam up. This is why I'm happy too that next week you're like, it's your session next week, right?
It's my
On do
session.
your research and all of that. All right, so only buy if you would be happy with it going to zero, right? Because one, like, so for example, the art is beautiful, right? It's going to hang on your wall, and if you pay $250 for a piece, I mean, that's, you would pay $250 for a piece of art, right? Or even $100 for a piece of art, or in some cases $25. Now, some of the utility, like my Meta Angels, one, I love the art. Two, I love the utility out of it. I'm beyond getting my money's worth. So if it goes to zero tomorrow, I'm going to be fine because I've already gotten my money's worth out of it, right? Like I don't buy it because it's going to appreciate, but it's like buying regular art. If I buy a piece of art, it may appreciate or it may not. But in the meantime, it's beautiful to look at on my wall, right? So that's my takeaway for today. Yeah, and to join the fun. Join the fun, become a bestie with us. Join the fun. You'll see us again. You'll hear from us again. If you have any questions and you want to watch Spilling the Tea on NFTs, go to Spilling the Tea. Go to thefunproject.xyz, and there you will see in the navigation a way to register for Spilling the Tea. Yay. And if you want to bring, for us to come and talk to your community group, your church, your school, your business, your small business, your large business, especially if you're in HR, whatever it is. If you want us to come and educate your community on Web3 and NFTs and diversity in the space, hit up Mariana. All right, guys, thanks for joining us. Happy Friday. Bye.